it's Karen Borga, fiber artist. You know, all around trying to, well, create my life. And I hope you are doing the same. So, welcome to my studio. I had a really busy week this week, and it had nothing to do with fiber, unfortunately. I had my Awaken with Angels website got so full of information that I actually had to move her, and it strained a lot of my brain cells that I haven't used in a long time. And so I was busy doing that, but that doesn't mean I didn't do anything. Last week, if you recall, I went to the barn crawl and I picked up a South Down Fleece. And so, there we go. So I washed it up, and this is actually what the fleece looks like now that she's all washed up. I can pull out some locks. They're kind of stuck together, which is, well, normal. And you can see the fiber now. The tips, let me see if I can make it so you can see it a little better. The tips are like a golden color, and the rest is kind of a, you really can't tell when it's filthy dirty. And may I say that this fleece was not, it was dirty, but it didn't have a lot of vegetable matter. It has like no vegetable matter. I really never got a fleece that had this amount of no vegetable matter. Well, maybe that one Wensleydale. But so you can see that these are the locks that are coming out of it. They're very nice. It's a nice fleece. I have to say that it's soft, you know. I'm going to spin it woolen prep. But I don't know. I feel like the color is meh. Oh goodness. I carded up a bat of it, and you would think that I would have it here for you to see, but I'm not prepared for that. So, but it doesn't change much from this gray, and it's kind of boring. And if I'm really going to be spending a great deal of time spinning all this yarn and then knitting it into a sweater, which is what I had planned on doing, then I'd like it to be a nice color, something that I want. So last week I took some and I plopped it into a dye bath. And so this is the South Down, just thrown in. I just randomly threw in some colors because, well, I was just playing around, to be honest with you. And it took the dye really well. I think I over dyed it. I had too much dye in my jars, and I just really just like poured it in. But that being said, I can still open it up and it'll still be a very nice spin. There's a little bits of, I don't know whether you can see that at all. There's a, no, I was better off over there. There's a little bit of like dye spectacles in there, and maybe some dirt that will come out, totally falls out when I am prepping it. So what I'm going to do to prep this, I really think I'm going to throw it on my hackle. I threw the first bat on a drum carder, and there were just little bits that were from the base of the lock, excuse me, and they make lumps in the yarn, and well, I want to make this a nice yarn. I mean, I know that woolen you can actually leave the lumps in, but I'm going to try hackling it, which means it's a tool that's long and has a lot of nails that Frank had hammered in, two rows of nails, and then I just put it on and I take a comb and I kind of rake the comb through the fleece and it pulls it out and it gets rid of the knots. So I'm going to try that. Typically you do that if you want to spin a worsted, but I don't really feel like hand carding all of this, and I think it's a faster process. So that, but I love the way that the color took, if you can see. So I am going to, well, that's my intention with this. So I wanted to give you an update on that. I also made some yarn this week just because I needed something up in my living room for when Frank and I are sitting watching TV. I can't keep my hands just not doing anything. My grandma kind of taught me that I need to be doing handwork when I watch TV. So thank you, Grandma. And let me see if anybody's here. Let's see. I don't know how to see that, so give me a few minutes. Oh, there. Doing handwork when I watch TV. So thank you, Grandma. And no. All right, I figured that out. So, oh, there is a chat. I got one message. Hi, who are you? Hi. So, well, thanks for stopping by. And so today, I think the project I'm going to work on is I'm going to be starting, oops, I have a lot of that dye that fell out. I don't know if you can see it on my bubble wrap, but I am going to just toss it in the garbage here. And so what I want to do is just make a wall hanging for today. If you guys want to hang out with me, that would be awesome. And I am going to start with a, I don't know, I have a pile of stuff here. I have a pile of stuff everywhere. If you could just see my whole base, well, my whole studio. So, I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to leave this. I'm getting rid of this. And we will put this over here. All right, so to start this project, I am just going to lay out just layers of this fine merino fiber. Oops, I keep bumping into that. Not liking that, so we'll move it up. And to lay out the fiber, I believe I'm going to do 3 layers this time. I did 2 layers the last time I did it, and I didn't feel as though it was quite sturdy enough for a wall hanging. So, and this is it. If you don't know anything about felting, which is what I'm working on right now, it is the process of agitating wool with soap and water, and the combination of the soap, the water, and the agitation make the scales. If you magnified these fibers, they have little scales, and when you agitate them in the soap and water, they open up and they start sticking together, and that is actually what creates felt. Felt is one, I think, is the oldest fabric, way they made fabric. I heard a silly story about somebody who was walking barefoot for a long, long period of time, and his feet were so sore that he actually took some sheep fiber and kind of wrapped it on his feet and kept walking, And by the end, he had felted it, and so that's how felting was invented. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but I kind of like the story. Invention through necessity. So I hope you're doing well. Frank is a intern to be a master gardener. He took courses. He started his courses in January, and and now he's doing an internship, which means that he volunteers, and he has to volunteer for 60 hours in order to get his Master Gardener certification. We had the grandkids here today, and for my birthday, my daughter had given me some Cosmos seeds so that we can do some eco-printing later in the year, and I had the grandkids plant those seeds for us. I did some hammering with pansies last year, and don't you know, little Harper saw that I had pansies planted in the front of the house right now, and she picked one and said, "Let's go hammer it," so she remembers already. So I got my little fiber, I don't know, studiers, students already. So if you guys have not started with eco printing, it's like the hottest textile craze going on right now. So now you go in the opposite direction to give it strength. If I were making something fine, like a shawl or a scarf or clothes, I would be less generous with the amount of fiber that I'm putting on here. I would do it in little teeny tufts. But right now, I'm just laying it out because this is going to become a palette for what I'm working on today. Still, my head is still spinning from all of that technology this week. I don't know if you guys spend a lot of time in technology, but whew. Moving a website from one location to another, and then setting up all those emails again. Ay, ay, ay. Then the membership site went down, and I struggled to get support for that. That was really hard. I think they're closed on the weekends or something. I don't know. It took me 2 days for them to respond. Okay, so that's 2. And I really would like to do 3. So I'm going to do some of this, and I'm going to do it a little finer. Do that, oops. Do that up here. You know, when I first started dyeing wool, and these little strips would appear in the wool that I was spinning, I thought it was because I dyed it wrong, but this is commercially dyed, and it happens, it still happens, so it wasn't me. It's just what happens sometimes. So okay, I don't want to do half, but I want to change up the color a little bit now that I'm on the third layer. So let's see. I have some colors over here on the side. That's a big piece. Let's see, I have this very bright purple. So let me add some of this. Stay. This is so relaxing. I hope you have a project that brings you this amount of sort of peace and inspiration. I've kind of gotten to the point in my life where I can let some things go in order to do the things that I love, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, I might have a little bit of dog hair rolling around on the floor more than I used to, but I actually enjoy doing things that I love more than making sure that the house is perfect. I mean, it's not like it's disgusting up there, but I do have Frank to help as well. Let's add a little white, I think. This is also merino, but I also have, I don't know where I'm going with this, but there you go. Kind of like that's darker. I was thinking about adding some yarn. I don't know that I have purple yarn. I'd rather it be white. This section's pretty white. Let's see how far that goes. So this is hand spun, hand dyed yarn, ironically, and I'm pulling the hand dyed part out. But it's all good. Not quite sure what I'm doing, obviously. I don't love that. Let's see. Okay. Better. Oh, maybe. Alright. Making a mess here, but I'm playing around and, well, kind of like that. Kind of looks like a butterfly to me, sort of. Sort of. We'll see how that works. What do you think? Butterfly material. and get in there. I don't know if that'll stay. We'll see. This is all an experiment. And then I think, well, what if I should wet it down first before I get a little carried away? I'm going to do that. Kind of makes things stay. I mean, the process is soapy water and agitation, and I'm not going to agitate yet. I'm just going to work on this, getting everything so it'll stay. You can actually, if you decide that you'd like to felt, you can even, take your time with this design process and leave it overnight or so. Okay, what are we going to do? I have a bit of silk that I dyed, so I think we'll add some silk in here. Maybe I'll ruffle it up so it becomes textured. And what else did I throw in this pile? Let me see what other fabric I have in my drawer. I know I have dyed silk somewhere. Be patient with me here. Let's see what we have. Dark? I don't know. Some white, maybe. So the wool sticks to the silk. The silk doesn't felt. And this is wool that I spun, so this will felt nicely. This little butterfly. I do have more that I dyed. Let's see if I have a cut end. Here we go. I need to cut the selvage off. Sorry, I was over to the side, not paying attention to the camera. Well, a lot of turquoise has appeared in this. You know, when you're just playing, you don't really have a plan. It's exciting to see what transpires, you know? It's really kind of painting with wool. Oh, stretch my back. Let's see. I have some viscose somewhere here. It's sort of that color. Viscose is not wool, it's a plant fiber, and it's very shiny. So let's lay the viscose on here. Viscose as well does not felt, but the wool felts to it. So let's do that. Let's pick up this butterfly antennas here. Put some viscose under there. Nice. Okay. Got a lot of direction going. And I will just put viscose here instead of the wool so that some of the purple merino can pop through. Okay. Okay. And now let's see. I know, I'm going crazy. I love this green. It's my, I don't know if you can see it on the monitor yet, but well, I certainly didn't expect to be going this green. I need a little wool there. Here. Okay. I do have some other bits sort of things. You can't see, but I brought out another drawer of things, and I don't know, silk noise. Do they match at all? Or I have some locks that I've dyed. Actually have silk that I've dyed. I'm going with this, some of this. When you see this done, you'll see the texture that the silk creates. I don't know if there's enough wool right in this spot here. That'll be fine. Alrighty, I'm okay with this. I just got to figure out that butterfly. She needs some love and attention. And I do have, oh, that's interesting. I have Angel Star. It's shiny, or Fire Star, I should call it. I have a little bit of this sorry waist. What would you think if she were pink? What do you think? Too pinky? I have this merino, but that's not what I'm looking for. I was looking for a sorry waist, but to be honest with you, I don't think it contrasts enough with the other stuff, but I am definitely going to add this about. I bought this from Cameo Fiber Arts. It's called Blue Lagoon. And it is sari silk made from old saris. That might be too much. Oh, get back there. It's one thing that Everything is very sticky. It actually has some of the green in it, so that's kind of cool. You can tell that this was once fabric. It's all stuck together here. I don't know if I want that. These are little threads. So, maybe. Still that butterfly. Still that butterfly. Let's see. Should she be white? Oh, I'm thinking I like white. White silk. Was just sticking to me. That's okay. What do you think? White? Are you there? Are you watching me too? Do you allow yourself to be creative and just do things without judging yourself harshly? I'll tell you, when I started, when I made those feather blessings, do you guys recall? Feathers appear when angels are near, and I made the magnets of love, health, peace, and prosperity. And I drew those feathers. I was terrified, like literally terrified that they weren't good enough. And it was like almost impossible for me to approach people and ask them if they would either be interested in selling them or buying them. And to be honest with you, I still suffer with that situation. I just like to create. I just like to create. A little bit more white. Where are you? Here. In my bin. I don't think that's enough. I'm going to have to fill it in more. All right, white flower or white butterfly. I do have, I think she needs a little more. I mean, should it be the pink sari silk that I just put in there in little bits? Let's see what that'll do. I like that. It Just gives it a little dimension. Ache. No, no. It's alive. Alrighty. Not sure. Not sure. You know what? Let's write it all down and see if I'm happy. A little bit of this white silk. Where shall I put that? Okay. Here comes the water. Cleaning up just a little bit. When I start going through all my bins, this place becomes a mess. So much turquoise in there. I wonder if I should break it up. Although it has a lot of that green in it. I don't know. We'll see. So happy that I spent the time and organized my space. I should put this away. I don't know. Do I want to use some of this? Let's look at it. It's got such great texture. I don't know. Can you see it? Wings, maybe. Ooh. Kind of like that. Okay. They're getting filled in nicely. I'm not quite sure how they're going to felt, but we shall see. Okay. And feeling like I should have a little bit of this elsewhere. Kind of balance it. So it does have a bit of purple in it, and that's pretty much the same purple as over here, so I like the texture that it's creating. Alright, well, that happened. And something else might happen, who knows. Put away my good scissors. Gotta get a towel. All right, let's wet this whole thing. And I'm starting the agitation. Just gently. The woman on Living Felt says, just like rubbing a baby's bottom to begin with. So want to make sure everything is kind of in place before I aggressively felt this. Sorry if my head's in the way. This blue is kind of trying to creep over. All right. La la la. I'm going to mount this probably with a mat, maybe with a mat, I'm not quite sure. Frank just came into the studio, not quite sure why he's here, but he stepped in here with us. Hello, darling.
Hello.
You want to come say hello? We're live streaming.
Hello.
So,
Nice piece of work.
thank you.
Well, I actually was come to let you know that the wings are almost done if you wanted some of them.
Thank you.
Okay.
I might actually pause this.
Okay.
I have to start felting it with the sander now.
Hey, that's all right. They're not done, but they're pretty close.
You're awesome.
The race is delayed, so no big deal.
Frank loves NASCAR.
Forget that funny face she gave you all. It's a great sport. Anyway.
All right, I'm going to turn the volume off so that I can start sanding. So there's nothing wrong with your volume. Hi, whoever's watching. I turned off the volume because this sander is making a lot of noise and it's going to take me a few minutes to get this whole thing sanded. But I hope you're doing well. Is this too loud for you? Yes, no, maybe? If it is, I'll turn it off again. Otherwise, we can chat. Are you a creative person as well? Feel free to chat with me. Type in the chat. Sounds like the sander is dying. Let's get this butterfly. Oh, she's done. I will be right back. Fortunately, I'm using the same drill stuff that Frank uses, and he has 2 battery packs. I'm back. This is going to be louder. So, I'm going to turn the volume off for you. I don't think there's enough soap on here, so not quite sure which way to go about doing this. I'll do it this way. It just doesn't feel soapy. I like when the soap is just like that. So you don't need a lot of water. Like sometimes I have too much water, but I really love the soap. Making felt is so tactile, right? Your hands are in it, soap and rubbing it. I'm telling you, I just love working in this medium. Not that I don't love spinning and weaving and knitting and dyeing and what other things do I do, but all right, a little too much soap. That's fine. Nothing a towel can't take away. And let's see the progress. These are not sticking. I was a little worried about that, but I like them. So, how do I make them stick? There was so much underneath there. I don't know if there was enough wool fiber for them, but we're gonna keep trying. Obviously it's the focal point. So what else? Oh, these are gonna be nice. That's gonna be nice. These ruffles are gonna be gorgeous. Wait till you see. It's just this butterfly situation here. Let's try the sander again. Finally. They're sticking. Sorry about that noise. This butterfly is finally coming together. It is in one piece, kind of, sorta. Still want the antennas to be kind of sticking out, a little obvious. And the blue is migrating, but it usually does. Yeah. I'm going to start rolling. Not my favorite part of this process, but a very important part, so here we go. Rolling it in bubble wrap. Cleaning up all my extra soap. I got lots. Go. This is not a very exciting part of the process. And there's still more rolling. You just got to turn it a bit because it shrinks in the direction you roll it. And so you have to roll it from all four corners in order to get decent shrinkage, or all four sides rather. So what's going on here? The bubbles are not on it somehow or another. Oh, the bubbles were on the underneath. I see. When this dries, it is going to have awesome texture. I'm so excited for this and to show you how it works. Let's put this back down and do what I was doing. Well, it's very long this way, so obviously that was not the first roll. You would think I would be more organized, but you know what? I'm not like those other ones yet. We're so organized and have everything so nice and neat and figured out. I'm just creating as I go along. Okay. You're supposed to be counting and doing it evenly, and you know what? I don't do that. So Things are coming together. That's why we started. Let's do that again. It's still very pliable. So I can pull and straighten out the edges at this point. But it's going to be in a mat. I can't wait to see this flower when it dries. Or butterfly rather. So, alright. Next process of felting is banging. A lot of throwing gently. Get a little of my aggressions out. I don't really have many. Did some whacking of some yarn earlier today, which means after I spin it and I soak it and I spin the water out, then I actually take the skeins that I made and I throw it against a table. A lot of the fibers came through. I want some dimension happening with this silk. So I will loosen it up a bit. Oh, this is a nice loose one. I don't know whether you can see what I'm doing. But this is all going to be loose and textured. Ooh, that's a good one. Nice. Liking that. And I can do that same thing here in the blue, though it looks like the blue is really it's really been smushed down well, and the wool fibers have gone through, so it's going to make a nice texture instead of as dimensional as the white. Now this final part is actually creating the felt. Can you see that it's getting a lot more textured now? I think I'll roll it a little bit more, see what happens. Everything is really kind of in place at this point. I just want to get it so it's really felted. Oh, this is looking nice over here. I probably shouldn't get too carried away with this felting. So now the next part is that I'm just going to rinse it out. And I am going to put it in some, well, rinse it in water, get all the soap out, add some vinegar to neutralize the soap, and well, I will post on my social media how it turns out. So, thank you so much for watching. And I hope I see you next time. Have a wonderful day. I hope you find time to be creative because, well, you know, I'm creating my life. Bye.